Cheating wife wants to come back after betraying me. Reddit cheating stories. I found out about my wife's affair on a rainy Tuesday, the kind of day where the sky feels too heavy and the world is too quiet, like it's holding its breath. One notification, one message preview on her abandoned tablet, and suddenly the last 10 years of my life cracked like cheap glass. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stared at the screen, feeling the floor tilt beneath me as if the universe itself shifted out of place. Love can end softly, I once thought. Turns out, sometimes it ends with a sharp, precise stab you never saw coming. Her name is Emily. We met in college. I was the quiet one with a future planned down to the details. She was the spontaneous one who lived on instinct and emotion. For years, we balanced each other. Or so I believed. I worked long hours as a software engineer while she pursued freelance graphic design. We dreamed of a house near the lake, kids someday, traveling when money wasn't so tight. Ordinary dreams, but they were ours. Or again, so I believed. The messages I found weren't new. They were months old. Months of secret, I miss you, and, I can't wait to see you again. Months of my wife, my partner, my once best friend, sharing pieces of herself with someone else. His name wasn't even saved, just initials. Like she tried to hide him even from her own conscience. When she came home that day, shaking rainwater from her hair, humming like nothing was wrong, I felt something inside me switch off. I showed her the tablet without a word. I watched the blood drain from her face. She collapsed, sobbing, apologizing so loudly the neighbors might have heard. She tried grabbing my hands, begging, trembling so hard her whole body shook. But my heart was numb. There was no room for forgiveness at that moment, only shock, disbelief, and the quiet death of something sacred. I moved out that night. For weeks, I lived in a small rented apartment across town. It smelled of dust and paint, but it gave me something I desperately needed: distance. Every night, I replayed everything, the laughs, the inside jokes, the promises. And then the messages. I wondered how someone could destroy a decade with such careless hands. She called, texted, emailed. At first, I ignored every attempt. Then her messages changed. They weren't angry or defensive. They were desperate. Please talk to me. I made the worst mistake of my life. I'll do anything. Just don't leave me like this. You're my home, please. But every time I considered responding, I saw the image of her words to another man. And I couldn't do it. One night, her mother called me, crying. Emily had been staying with her parents, barely eating, barely sleeping. She had confessed everything, even things I hadn't seen. I didn't feel satisfaction, just exhaustion. About a month after I left, Emily asked to meet in a public place. Just to talk. Against my better judgment, I agreed. Some part of me needed closure. We met at the cafe where we had our first date. She looked thinner. Not just physically, but like life itself had shrunk her. Her eyes were red, tired, and full of a guilt so raw it made her look fragile. Why? That was all I asked. My voice came out hoarse. She whispered, I was lonely. I felt my jaw clench. I was working, for us. I know, she said, tears spilling before she even blinked. And I was stupid. I felt unnoticed. I felt like I was fading. Instead of talking to you, instead of trying, I ran into the arms of someone who made me feel seen. It was selfish. It was childish. And the moment I realized what I'd done, it was already too late. Her honesty cut deeper than the affair itself. I never stopped loving you, she continued. Not for a second. I didn't cheat because of something wrong with you. It was something wrong in me. I wanted to hate her. I wanted to shout. But instead, I just felt tired. Do you want to come back home? She asked quietly. Not now. Not fast. But someday. I want to fix this. I want to rebuild. I want to spend my life making this right. Her voice cracked like a breaking branch. I didn't answer that day. I told her I needed time, real time. She nodded, even though I could tell it hurt her. Over the next few weeks, we talked more. Sometimes for hours, sometimes only minutes. She started therapy. I started therapy too. Healing isn't about choosing blame, it's about choosing truth. And the truth was complicated. One night, after 2 months of slow, painful conversations, I came home to my apartment and found a letter slid under the door. It was from Emily. Inside was a simple message. Even if you never take me back, Thank you for the years you gave me. You were good to me. I should have protected what we had. I'm learning how to be worthy of love again. I hope one day, you find peace, with me or without me. I read it 5 times. Maybe more. It wasn't a plea. It wasn't pressure. It was acceptance. Something in me shifted. Another month passed before I finally asked her to meet at the lake we used to visit. The water was calm, reflecting the fading orange sky. She arrived wearing a simple jacket, hair tied back, eyes cautious but hopeful. I don't know if I can forget what happened, I began. And I don't know if I can fully trust again. She nodded. I understand. But, I remember the years before the affair. The laughter. The kindness. The way you used to look at me like I was enough. I don't want to throw away a decade without fighting for it. Her breath hitched. I'm willing to try, I said. Slowly. Carefully. With boundaries. With therapy. But I'm willing. She covered her face and sobbed into her hands, this time with relief, not guilt. We didn't rush. We rebuilt brick by brick, with uncomfortable honesty and painful conversations. Some days felt like progress. Some days felt like setbacks. But healing isn't linear. It's a storm before it becomes a sunrise. It took a year before I moved back into our home. It took 2 years before I felt like I could look at her without seeing betrayal first. It took even longer before trust began to bloom again. But we made it. Today, when people ask me why I gave her another chance, I tell them. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's choosing peace over bitterness. And sometimes, love is worth the work, if both hearts choose to rebuild. The affair didn't define us. The healing did. And the message I carry for anyone listening is this. You don't owe anyone forgiveness. But if you choose to heal, whether together or apart, choose the path that brings you peace, not the one that feeds your pain. Love can survive betrayal, but only when responsibility, honesty, and growth walk hand in hand. It wasn't a perfect journey. But it was real. And sometimes, real is enough.